Hi everyone, it's Sarah. We had a little trouble with recording um, the lesson that we did last week. So here it is again, just to recap everything that we went through. As we did in the lesson, I'm going to start off with the presentation, and then we're going to go through and take a look at AdWords and how it works. So, what is PPC? PPC stands for pay-per-click, and that's a type of internet marketing in which advertisers pay a fee each time one of their ads is clicked. It's a way of buying visits to your site rather than earning them organically, which you do for SEO. As I showed you, during our lesson, if you take a look at Google and you type in something like a service or a product that you're searching for, normally the top results have ad written next to them. That is PPC. Those are pay-per-click ads. The reason why they're called pay-per-click is because you only pay every time somebody clicks on them. You don't pay for it showing up. It's just when people interact with it. So let's start with some PPC statistics. Businesses typically earn $2 for every $1 spent on Google Ads. PPC visitors are 50% more likely to purchase something than organic visitors, which makes it a lot better to have organic visitors coming to your site. 75% of users click on ads as they help them find the information they need more easily. Having ads there means that people get the information quickly, so lots of people want to click on the first search result, which is why PPC works. And a paid ad on the first position has a click-through rate of 7.11%, which is really good. So why should you use Google Ads? The reason why is you get to reach your customers when it matters. When they're searching for something on Google, they want to buy a product, they're interested in something, they're interested in a service. While they're interested, you want to be there while they're looking for you. So PPC helps people who haven't had the time to put in their efforts into SEO get there fast and be there when the customer wants them. So there are three key benefits or principles behind PPC. The first one is relevance. You get to target the right people at the right time with the right message. Thanks to all the targeting options that PPC has, you get to target people very specifically, and it means that only people interested in what you're offering get to see what you're doing. Traditional ads, like newspaper ads, get thrown in front of absolutely everyone, and there's no guarantee that the people who see them are actually interested in what you do. So there's a lot of wastage. PPC means that you can track everything. There's none of that wastage associated with traditional ads. Control. You can control how much you spend with budgeting tools. You can clearly set a budget of how much you want to spend, and Google won't go over that. And results. As I mentioned before, you only pay for the results you get. So for example, you only pay when people click on your ad. There are another couple of ways that you can pay for PPC ads, but we'll go over them later. So when you set up a PPC campaign, there are a number of goals that you can have. The first one is sales, and that's when you want to grow online, in-app, in person, or over the phone sales. It's very versatile, but it's there for people who want to increase their revenue and have selling in mind. The next one is leads, and this is designed for people who you want to take a certain action on your site. Next, we've got web visits, and this drives people to your website. This is great if you want people to explore and take a look at what you're doing, and if you have a service to offer. Consideration is trying to get people to explore your wide range of products and services so they get to see a broad range of what you're doing. Awareness is great for brand awareness campaigns, as you get to reach a broad audience and maximize your exposure a lot. Finally, the last type of goal that you can have is promote app. This is when you have an app and you want to increase the installs and the number of people downloading it and the interactions that you have with the app. Next, let's take a look at the different types of ad campaigns that you can run. As we talked about earlier, search campaigns are when you type in something into Google and then you get the text ads right at the top. You can see in the little picture the ad for Ryanair in the box. That's a search ad. Next, we've got display ads. These are the very annoying ads that seem to follow you around the internet when you look at a new pair of shoes, for example, and you see all these pretty graphical ads on different websites that you're looking at. These are called display ads, and we're going to be touching on them next lesson a bit more. Next, we have video ads, and these are the type of ads that you see on YouTube videos that come at the beginning or in the middle of your YouTube videos. Next, we have shopping. These are for particular products. So if you want to buy a new pair of shoes, for example, and you search for them, you can advertise your shoes to the people who are looking for them, and you'll see the results at the top of Google for what you can buy. Next, there are app ads, which you can get in the app using the Ad Store, Google Play. And here you can see an example of Trivago, who has promoted the app there. Finally, we have smart campaigns, which is where Google does everything for you. These are great for small businesses or new people to AdWords, as it means that Google runs the ads for you. It's very simple, but it's effective if you don't have the time to run your campaigns properly. Next, there are a number of ways to optimize your ads. First of all, there's device targeting. Say you've got an app, you don't want to target people on desktop, you want to target people on mobile. So this is a perfect type of targeting because you get to target people on their mobiles or on their desktop and choose which ones you want. Next, there's language and location. One of the settings is that you can choose the countries that you're targeting and the language your ads will be targeting. This is great for localization, and this is what we're going to cover in a bit more detail next lesson. Next, another way to optimize your ads is through bidding and budget. What you can do is set your budget to how much you want to spend, and then you won't go over that amount. If, say, your budget is not enough, you can easily up it or you can easily down it, depending on the success of your ads. And finally, ad extensions. Do you remember the Ryanair ad that we looked about? You see that on there, it talks about flights from Ireland, cheap flight offers, flights Cork-London. These are ad extensions. These make your ad look bigger and they make it look more enticing to click on. And it encourages people to click on it because it's bigger and more eye-catching than the others. Right, so how do we write PPC ads? PPC ads all come down to what's called ad structure. So what you have to do is you have to divide your products into different campaigns. Then you divide them into ad groups, and then you have your keywords, your ads, and your landing pages. This all sounds a bit confusing, so let's take a look at it using actual examples. So say one of your campaign is for Levi's jeans. What you do is you'd separate that into women's jeans, men's jeans, and kids' jeans. You'd have different ads for women's jeans, different ads for men's jeans, and different ads for kids' jeans to make it all relevant. You choose your keywords and you make sure you have relevant keywords for each ad group. So women's would have women's keywords, men's would have men's keywords, and kids would have children's keywords. It's a best practice that you have roughly 3 ads per ad group, but that all depends on the services and if that's possible. Here's another one that's gone even more specific. They want to run a campaign for women's skinny Levi's. So they've separated it into general, dark wash, and leggings. And here you can see that all the keywords are divided up based on the type of campaign that they're for. So dark wash have dark in them, leggings will have Levi leggings or jeggings or something along those lines, and general are just a mix of women's skinny Levi's. So, how are ads ranked? As you can see, there are ads in different positions, a bit like organic search. So, how does Google choose what goes where? It all comes down to what's called ad rank, which is a score used to rank your ads and decide which goes where. This is worked out using your maximum cost per click bid. So that's when you choose the maximum amount you're willing to spend per click for each keyword. This is normally done automated on Google, so don't worry about the maths too much. It's normally worked out from the budget that you're willing to spend per day. And there's your quality score. Google gives you a score of 1 to 10 for your ads based on click-through rates, landing page experience, and relevance. As we mentioned, there's something called quality score. Ad relevance is basically when you put the right amount of keywords and you have relevant keywords based on the ads. Landing page experience is where you link through to a proper landing page. If you're looking for women's Levi jeans and you link to a page that's men's Levi jeans, you're going to lose points for landing page experience because it's not relevant. It's not to do with women's Levi jeans. However, if you have a landing page that's specifically designed for the keyword you're targeting, then you're going to get great points on the landing page experience. The next point is expected click-through rate. So that's how well Google thinks you're going to rank. Right. Now that we've talked a little bit about the theory, what I'm going to do is I am going to open up AdWords and show you how to set up a basic ad. Let's open this all up. So what you have to do is you have to go onto AdWords. You can find the URL ads.google.com, or you can simply Google it and it will come up. If you have an account, press sign in. If you're working with a client, the client can share access with you just like it does with analytics, or you can press start now. I'm not going to create an account because I'd have to go through payment stuff first, and it takes a little while, but it's pretty simple. If you want to practice and play around with AdWords, what you can do, you can create an account, just make sure that none of your ads are running, and then you can play around for free. So here's an old AdWords account that we use. You just click into it, you get given an ID, and this is a dashboard that comes up. Sometimes takes a little while to load. So here you can see the dashboard. We don't have any ads running right now, so that's why there's no results. But if you go back to a little while, if I go to a little while back when I had an old test campaign running, let's see if this will work. Nope, I have to go even further back. Let's try this. There we go. So here you can see the number of clicks that you got, the number of impressions, so that's how many people saw your ads, the average cost per click. Again, this is in Czech, so that's about just under €2, and the total cost that we spent, so that was 8,000 crowns, so that was around €300-ish. Here you can see the biggest changes and which ads they were for. Here you can see your campaigns. Here you can choose if you want to stop or start them. So if you're going to be playing around and you want to do it all for free, make sure that everything's paused. If it says that it's enabled, then you're going to get charged for it, and that's not something you want to do unless you're going out with a campaign. Here you can see the best keywords and how they performed and their click-through rates. And here you can see the keywords that that people searched for when your ad showed up. You can see the most frequent ad. You can see the language page that worked. You can see the devices. You can see the demographics, and you can see the time of day. So if there's a set time of day where people click on your ads and convert, you can increase your budget for that time of day and optimize your ads for that. If you see that not many people click on them on Saturday and Sunday, then you can schedule your ads not to show at all so that you can save your budget. So to begin with, let's make a campaign. So click home on campaign, click on plus to make a new campaign, and then click new campaign. Here you can see all the goals that we talked about before. So for this test campaign, I'm just going to click on website traffic because it's the simplest one. If you have different goals, like you want to increase sales, lead, brand awareness, or an app, simply click on that and everything will be the same. Google just optimizes it a bit different. Here you can choose the different types of campaigns. So here you can choose a search campaign, a display campaign, a shopping campaign, or a video campaign. We're going to focus on search campaigns today. So let's click on that. Here you put your business's website and press continue. Next, you need to have a campaign name. So let's call this one digital marketing. And then we can break it down. You can see there's two types of networks here, Google Search Network and Google Display Network. Search Network is where the results and your ads come up on Google. And Display Network is when it comes up on different sites. So say a news site, a music website, somewhere that's not Google that you're looking at. For these search ads, let's get rid of display because the Display Network is better for display ads, which we're going to talk about next lesson. So let's choose a location. For this one, let's target Ireland. And here you can target everywhere. If you don't want to target Northern Ireland or you don't want to target Donegal, for example, you can choose to exclude it. But just for relevance, let's include the whole of Ireland for this one. Here you can choose the languages that you're targeting. You can choose English. I have no idea why it suggested Polish. I was going to say we could target Irish as well, but that is not an option. So let's just stick with English. Audiences, you can select audiences to work with the campaign, but that takes a little bit more work, so we'll talk about that later. So my average that I want to spend each day is, let's say, €5. That's 150 crowns-ish. This campaign will use a maximize clicks per bid strategy. So it means that Google chooses where it's going to show your ads. If it thinks that somebody is more likely to convert, then it will put more money behind getting your ads seen then. It's easier to do this. If you want to set a maximum cost per click, you can do, but I'd recommend doing maximize clicks because it's a lot easier. Here's where you get to your ad extensions. I showed you how to do them last time. You just click new site extension, you put in your text, you put in the description, another description, and a final URL. I'm not going to waste time doing them, but here's ones that we made earlier. So there's blog, there's marketing, there's contact us, and there's a digital marketing biddy. Call out extensions, that's business information for your ad. So we've got 10% off, limited time only, just to try and entice people into buying your ads. And there's call extensions where you can add your phone number. That's only if you want people to phone you. I do not want people to phone me. So there we go. So here's where you have your ad groups. As we talked about before, it's all about being relevant and making different ad groups based on your services. So let's do one ad group for SEO. If you type in here, you can, it'll give you suggestions on good keywords to target. So let's choose them and put them into our campaign. You can also do keywords research in places like SEMrush, so you can see the search volume, and then you can have more of an idea about what you're targeting. We talked last time a bit about match types, broad match, phrase match, and exact match. I actually did something about that on the next lesson, so if you bear with me, we'll talk about that next. Here we can take a second ad group. So this one we're going to do PPC. Digital ad agency, PPC website, PPC companies. And let's save and continue. Normally I'd say have at least 10 keywords per ad group, just to make sure you're targeting enough people. But I just did it quickly as an example, as we've already talked about this. So here is where you can create your ads. Here's the first ad group, which is SEO. Here you have your headline. It needs to be under 30 characters, and it should include the keywords. So what keywords did we target? Okay, web SEO. So let's do web SEO services. Grow online. Hey. Free consultation available. Here's a path. Always try and make the path look a little bit more relevant. Here you can, as basically it gives you a chance to show the audience that this page is going to be relevant to SEO. The final URL is your landing page. So let's have a special landing page about SEO, just to make sure it's relevant. Here's a description. So you can have 90 characters. The same for description too. Now you should have roughly 3 ads, and you should make sure that you use different keywords in the ad so that Google can show the most relevant one depending on the keywords. So let's press done. That's where you create a new ad. Again, I'm not going to do that today. Here's where you do the PPC ads. Again, use your PPC keywords, fill in everything, and make sure that you follow all of the tips from last time. So save and continue. So let's continue to campaign. And here's where everything shows up. Here's the ad groups. You can add more ad groups here by clicking on add group. Ad extensions. This is where you can actually add more ads. Here's where you can see which landing pages work best. If you take a look at the keyword tab, it shows you all the keywords that you're targeting. You can add more by clicking the keyword tab, and you can also use negative keywords. So if you want to target, if there's something you specifically don't want to target, Like, we don't want to target people who are doing their own SEO because that's pointless. So we can save that as a negative keyword. Make sure that you put thought into your negative keywords and choose keywords with search volumes. So research them a little bit using SEO keyword research. Here you can take a look at the audiences, the demographics, and most importantly, the ad schedule. So here you can filter out when not to show your ads. If you click on it, you can see it's running all days, but say we just want it to run Monday to Fridays. Click on that, say that we want it during business hours. So let's do 9 o'clock till 6 p.m. in the evening. Press save, and that is when your ads won't show up. Let's go back to overview because I need to turn this off. Let's pause it before it starts costing me money. And you can go back out and see all of your campaigns. Here it says none of your ads are running. So if you want to play around, that's all you have to do. And then you can practice setting up ads and everything. I think we basically covered everything that we did last time. It's taken a little bit quicker because it's the second time round and we're not answering questions, but hopefully we've covered everything that we did last time and you now have this for reference. For homework, it was to make, I wanted you to make an ad group like we talked about last time and plan out a little PPC campaign. And if you have any questions, feel free to get in touch and I will be happy to help. So just to confirm, this is what I'd like you to do, is to make an ad structure of your own, anything that you'd like. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me and I'll be more than happy to help, and we'll touch on PPC in more detail next lesson.